Oh my. Oh my god, this is ridiculous. A Kobe Bryant patch autograph. Woo! Number 4 of 10.
How's it going, everybody? And welcome back to my channel, Kobe Cards. As you may have noticed, I'm now running the series that I'm doing on The Last Dance, but from a Kobe fan's point of view, alongside this series, which is cards from the Kobe capsule. I really want the content for this channel to not just be about the past and reviewing Kobe's life and accomplishments, but I also want it to stay current and find ways to talk about Kobe, but from a current events and current NBA news perspective. I've already drawn a few parallels in past videos, with 5 of my 12 videos having something to do with some sort of connection to things happening in the basketball world today. There were 2 videos on the NBA 2K Players Only Tournament, and then their content release in their video game, finding the card which detailed the 2000 NBA Finals Game 4 game, which was featured on the hashtag NBA Together Live series by the NBA. My video that I released after Kobe got confirmed as an inductee into the Hall of Fame, and also the video where I talked about suspended Panini products as I reflected on the suspended season. I guess what I'm trying to say is I don't need to always look at Kobe from the lens of the past tense. Kobe will always be in our hearts and minds, and his cards and just him as a person will always transcend time. As I realize that I'm saying all of this, the card that I'm going to be talking about today is actually not at all related to any type of current event or anything, but you get the idea of what I mean and what I'm doing as far as the series I'm running for The Last Dance, and hopefully you enjoy that content too, as well as this. Before I dive into the Kobe capsule, I'm going to preface it by saying this. In the first video I released for my series on The Last Dance, I mentioned that, in my eyes, you'd be hard-pressed to find 2 players with more similarities across the board in terms of style of play, performance, etc., than Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant. This is going to reign just eerily true in terms of the stat we're going to be talking about today, which is free throw shooting. Kobe for his career shot 83.7% from the free throw line, which is compared to Michael Jordan's 83.5%. Literally a delta of 0.2%, with Kobe just barely edging Jordan. So you all can catch up on why free throws are on my mind, let's go into the Kobe capsule to get our card today, and eventually get into the passage. Alright, so here we have a 2012-2013 Timeless Treasures card. Kobe was number 40 in the set. The base cards of this set had 150 total cards, and none of the base cards were rookies. And the rookies could only be found as autos or memorabilia cards in this set. The product was sold in tins, and each tin contained 5 cards. 2 of which were base and 3 were autographs or memorabilia. Given the odds though, I'll put it simply, this is not a product where you can chase a particular player. For example, if I were to do a series where I opened nothing but Timeless Treasure tins, just hoping to find this base card that I'm holding right here, here is likely what it would run me. Given that there are 2 base cards per tin, and there are 150 total base cards, that means I would need to open, on average, 75 tins to find this Kobe Bryant base card. And given that each tin costs roughly $150, that would come out to roughly $11,250 on average just to find this base card. So if there's anything you're getting out of this, please, for the love of all things Kobe, just buy this card for a few bucks on eBay. You could probably get 10 of these for the cost of a single tin. Better yet, $11,000 plus. Also, for a bit of irony, people are actually selling the tins with Kobe Bryant on the cover for more money than this card goes for. And it's actually not a horrible deal. I think it's like you could probably get it for 20 bucks. I wouldn't be surprised that some people are paying 20 bucks, it's not a bad looking tin. And if I was just a casual collector and I only owned like 10 different Kobe Bryant cards, I could probably be convinced to pay 20 bucks for that container just to have a cool little tin to hold my Kobe cards in. I mean, after all, I do have this Kobe capsule if that is just any indication about how I feel about displaying Kobe cards. All right, on to the design. So the design is very clean for sure. Very sleek. I'd say that it's very similar to how I described the Hall of Fame contenders card, which I have over here. Let's see if I can pull it in. Because you see it's just a white background, very plain, but they let the accents and the borders do the work. And I'd say same thing for this card. You know, black background, you're really letting the player pop. You're letting Kobe just pop off the card. And then you've got sort of the borders and, you know, the bronze accent on the name and the gold on the border. So very simple, very sleek. Yeah, that's all I would say about it. And it's very different and contrasting from the record numbers card that I've got over here. You can tell that with that record numbers card, they're not really letting the player pop, they're letting the design pop. There's just blasts of color. Whereas this Timeless Treasures card, you're really focused on the player and not the design. All right, so we are going to go to the back of the card now. First things first, height of 6'6" and weight of 205 pounds. So we are going to add that to our tracker. And overall, the design of the back is very similar to the sort of sleek design on the front, just black with some nice accents and, you know, very simple font. They're not trying to do anything too crazy. But now let's get into the passage. In Game 3 in the second round of the 2012 playoffs against Oklahoma City, Bryant went 18 for 18 from the free throw line, establishing a franchise playoff record for most converted without a miss. It tied for the third highest total in NBA history. Bryant finished with 36 points in the Lakers' victory. So, free throws. That's what we're going to be talking about today. As you know, free throws can win you or lose you basketball games. And we're going to talk about that. All right. So in the particular game that they are referencing, which was on May 18th, 2012, the Lakers were down 0-2 in the series against the Oklahoma City Thunder, who were led by the trio that should have never been broken up of Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and James Harden. The Lakers would end up winning this game 99-96. And in part, it's because of Kobe's general as well as clutch free throw shooting prowess. With 1 minute and 9 seconds left in the game, the Lakers were down 92-91. Kobe would then go on to go 6 for 6 from the free throw line in the final minute 9. That the Lakers would end up winning the game. Needless to say, if Kobe had shot anything less than 18 for 18, OKC wouldn't have been fouling late in the game, and OKC would have probably won this game. The Lakers did end up losing the series 4-1, which meant that this was the only playoff game that they won in this series. And this was the year where Oklahoma City ended up making their first and only NBA Finals appearance, which they would then get crushed by the LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, Chris Bosh super team. Man, Kobe did not have it easy that year. Oh, so as far as the player who had the most free throws made in a single game without a miss, it was Dirk Nowitzki, who went 24 for 24 in Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals against Oklahoma City the year prior, literally almost to the day because it was on May 17th. And this would end up being the year where the Mavs stunned the world and Dirk and the Mavs took down that powerhouse trio in OKC in the Western Conference Finals. and then went on to the NBA Finals and took down the powerhouse of James Wade and Bosch. See, free throws matter. The NBA is honestly a league where people will expose your weaknesses. If you have a weakness, it's a reason for you to hit the bench. If you can't play defense and your team needs to get a stop, benched. If you can't hit a three-pointer and you're down by 3, benched. If you need to box out and get a crucial rebound, but you're not the best at that, benched. If it's late in the game and the opponents are looking to foul and you can't hit a free throw, benched. In a world where you need to determine exactly who you want on the court, Kobe never gave the Lakers a reason to take him out of the game. He was clutch, he could defend, he could score, he could box out, he had court vision, and he could hit free throws. When the leader of your team can be trusted to close out games, it's a really good feeling. People like Dirk, James Harden, Stephen Curry, Steve Nash, Chris Paul, Kawhi Leonard, Damian Lillard, Reggie Miller, Chauncey Billups, Paul Pierce, the list can go on, and you could talk about all the different players in history, but the truth is, when you're the best player on your team, and you're also the player that they want the ball in your hands at the end of tight games, and you can hit free throws, well, you know you're in good hands. As always, the card we talked about today will be uploaded to my Instagram and Twitter at Kobe Capsule, where you can find all of the cards we've talked about on this channel. And if you're enjoying my videos and my tribute to Kobe, I hope you consider subscribing so that you can follow along as we continue our journey to remember and celebrate the life and career of Kobe Bryant. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time with more Kobe cards.